The lungs don't like that.
Dr. Panagis Galiotsatos, director of the Tobacco Treatment Clinic at the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, says traditional cigarette smoking can cause a number of damaging or fatal diseases.
There's specific types of lung cancers, if not almost all of them, and very specific types of pulmonary diseases, such as chronic bronchitis and COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
It can also make other problems worse, like asthma and other non-pulmonary diseases. Some of the cancers may develop in a smoker's 50s or 60s, but e-cigarettes also bring immediate danger.
With electronic cigarettes, we need to be more mindful of more immediate complications, and we're seeing them now. Meaning like the surrogates to those more permanent diseases later on, we're seeing them now. Acute bronchitis, acute asthma.
Liz St. John, KCBS.
The U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee is expected to vote later today on the nomination of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the U.S. Supreme Court. KCBS's Chris Ancarlo reports there is a chance some legislative maneuvering may be needed to move the confirmation forward.
At this stage, there's absolutely no question that she's going to get confirmed.
Erwin Chemerinsky is the dean of the UC Berkeley School of Law. He says the votes are there, but if the vote at committee ends up tied 11-11, Senate Leader Chuck Schumer would have to move the nomination from the committee to the full Senate.
The reality is there are 50 Democratic senators. No indication that any of them won't vote for Judge Jackson. And also, at this point, Senator Susan Collins said she will vote for Judge Jackson.
So it's likely at worst it will be a 51-49 vote with the potential of a few other Republican crossovers.
I think everyone knew that Judge Jackson was likely to be confirmed. And as the first black woman, I think the consequences for the Republicans will be in opposing her, not for the Republicans who supports her.
He says we're not that far removed from the era when even obviously partisan judges like Antonin Scalia were confirmed unanimously or with large majorities.
But never before has a man as broken a topic as now.
The final confirmation vote is expected later this week. Chris Ancarlo, KCBS.
Coming up on KCBS.
Signs of autism in women and girls can be easy to miss. We'll tell you why coming up.
KCBS News Time, 12:45. Right now it's time for sports. NBA play Sunday night. Warriors won their second straight, beating the Kings in Sacramento 109-90. The NCAA women's basketball, South Carolina, this year's champs, winning the title game against UConn 64-49 on Sunday. The men's title will be decided later tonight when Kansas and North Carolina go at it. With more on the Warriors, here's KCBS's Kevin Radich.
The Warriors are certainly going to need everyone healthy to make a run in the playoffs, and they'll need Draymond Green up to speed. You know, he has struggled after missing 30 games with a bad back.
Offensively and defensively, I think I'm missing some things that I would normally, plays that I would normally make on both sides of the ball. You know, it's not, I don't think it's one specific thing.
That was Green after a loss last Sunday in Washington. He said he was playing terrible. GM Bob Myers.
He would admit he's not playing well, but he was playing extremely well, and we were playing extremely well. He still can be that guy. I believe he will be that guy before the season's all said and done. But it's going to take a minute to work himself back into that and say, goodness, we've got this time.
Myers on Odyssey sister station 95.7 The Game.
He's going to be a lot better a week from today. He's going to be a lot better 2 weeks from today. But the good news is he's not running around saying that he's playing great, feels great, and we're not winning. He's a huge part of why we win and why we lose. He's always been that for our team. But I think better days are ahead for him, which means better days for our team.
At the sports desk, Kevin Radich, KCBS.
Californians have worked really hard to beat COVID-19 by doing the things we know work best, like getting vaccinated and boosted, testing before and after travel, staying home when feeling safe, and wearing a mask when it can protect us and others. Let's continue to do our part to keep each other safe from COVID-19. When we work together, there's nothing we can't overcome. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. People at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 38,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, Shippers and packers, believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Time now for another check of the roads. Here's Frank Munich. Well, we're going to recheck this problem in Geyserville. No indication that lanes are blocked, but we do have an accident on the roadway up the hill to the River Rock Casino. That's the 3200 block of Highway 128. We have crews on scene there, but that is it in terms of accidents or stalls. It is turning into a very quiet Monday morning so far, although not quite so quiet that you can't hear the rustle of the wind because we have high wind advisories in effect for 4 Bay Area locations, and that would be Highway 92 over the San Mateo Bridge, Highway 580 over the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, Highway 680 over the Benicia Bridge, and for the Golden Gate Bridge. Your next update at 12:58 on the traffic leader KCBS. Partly cloudy this morning, but otherwise sunny for your Monday, with highs upper 50s at the coast, mid-60s along the bay, upper 60s to mid-70s inland. Sunny Tuesday, high 60s to mid-70s. Sunny and much warmer midweek with highs in the 70s and 80s. Wednesday getting into the low 90s inland on Thursday. Partly cloudy Friday, high 70s and 80s. The game time temperature for the Giants opener Friday should be in the low 70s. Mostly sunny Saturday, highs generally in the 60s and 70s. Right now in San Francisco, it's 52 degrees. In Morgan Hill, it's 48 degrees. In Pleasant Hill, 54 degrees. In Redwood City and Tiburon, it's 55 degrees. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. Deborah Ingerson is at the KCBS editor's desk. KCBS News Time is 12:50. The symptoms of autism can look very different in girls than boys. KCBS's Lisa Chan says this means many girls and women are still going undiagnosed.
Finding out if your daughter has autism might be harder to diagnose than if you had a son. That's because most diagnostic measures have been created for boys.
The measures we have might be missing a lot of girls, and that in particular, the girls may be better at more or less imitating or imitating typical would-be social behaviors in some situations, even though it still is perceived as very difficult for them, or in other situations they may have a hard time with these types of social behaviors.
Dr. Katie Walton, clinical psychologist and associate professor at Ohio State University, says if you suspect your daughter might have autism, you're really not pushing and asking questions.
Something I have seen frequently is that parents of girls who have more subtle characteristics have thought one or more times throughout the their school district to get an evaluation, and have been told, no, that doesn't look like autism. That's not what autism is.
KCBS.
A blood drive to honor the late Cesar Chavez was held over the weekend at the Red Cross in Oakland. KCBS's Bob Butler reports the drive was sponsored by City Councilman Dan Coe.
Chavez was born March 31st. Each year, as a city council member, I organize a blood drive. Usually it's on MLK Day in January. This year, for scheduling reasons, we decided to do it in conjunction with Cesar Chavez Day. The call came on Thursday and is often lined up at least a dozen donors for Saturday. Donating blood, helping people who need blood is a need. Donating blood is a need all the time. And if we can get more people out to go to the Red Cross blood bank or any blood bank to donate blood, what they're actually doing is save lives.
Also, the process is simple and safe.
I just can't urge it enough. If you are eligible to give blood, you should be giving blood at least once or twice a year, if not more often.
In Oakland, Bob Butler, KCBS. The U.S. Treasury Department is moving $46 billion in rental assistance from places slow to spend that money to those that are almost running out of it. The move means that larger states are getting hundreds of millions more. Data money, so they either voluntarily returned it or got it taken away. The CBS News time is 12:53.
The box office is making a comeback thanks to some star power. I'm Brian Van Miller from Business. The movie The Lost City just took the top spot from The Batman, thanks in part to its actors. Leading the movie is Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, and a cameo by Brad Pitt. It's being a draw to people looking for some comedic relief, not to mention a lot of pretty faces. This movie also brought in a key demographic, a female audience. During the pandemic and in the past few months, male moviegoers have been quicker to return to the box office. Now, because of the success of this move, in its debut weekend, theaters are hoping it's a sign of things to come. The release calendar is about to be the busiest it's been in the past few years. Big movies on the way to the big screen, and not all of them are superhero themed, which has so far made up a big part of the return to the theater success that studios and theaters have been enjoying. Now let's see if that trend holds. Brian Van Miller, CBS News.
Heading back to the office with the Jeff with the vote. After 2 years of work from home, car makers prepare to welcome their salaried workers back to the office.
I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and I think it's going to continue to change.
Ford manager Jackie Watts likes the hybrid system of coming in when you need to and working from home when that's best.
One decided they're going to get in, give it a try, see how they collaborate, see where they work best, find spaces that they feel comfortable in, and then adjust.
Ford has removed permanent desks and offices, replacing them with temporary workstations, privacy areas, conference rooms, lots of collaborative space. With them, I'm Jeff Gilbert, CBS News.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Amazon says it is weighing its options after workers at a New York City warehouse voted last week to form a union. The election wasn't even close, with union supporters winning by a margin of more than 500 votes. The warehouse is the first Amazon facility in the U.S. to unionize. Amazon says it's disappointed with the outcome. The company has until Friday to dispute results. Think $4 plus for a gallon of gas is a lot. Well, that is nothing compared to the price of jet fuel. It is $6.67 price. That's the most data going back to 1988. And that's raising concerns airlines could be forced to raise fares or cut schedules on you even more. And at that price, it could cost nearly $46,000 to pull the queue. A Boeing 737-800. And new cars in the U.S. will need to squeeze a lot more miles out of a gallon of gas in the coming years. New federal rules call for average fuel economy of at least 40 miles per gallon by 2026. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
Deep within you is the need to do some spring cleaning.
Brian, I have good news for you.
All you have to do is point.
When our truck pulls up in front of your house,
It's time to start dancing.
the air is about to smell cleaner.
The house is about to look bigger.
You're going to be sexier.
And everyone is going to clap and cheer.
You make junk disappear.
For the people with the clean, shiny trucks,
That makes everyone happy.
and that's why they all start dancing.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUMP.com.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With offices in San Mateo and Sacramento, call 650-407-1168. That's 650-407-1168. 650-407-1168. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com. HSA cards welcome.
You don't want to paint your kitchen and dining room forest green. You want canyon live oak green. You know, the same green as the trees you passed on your last drive to Mendocino? Yep, CertaPro painters can paint that green. Quality service and attention to detail that Californians have grown to know and love from CertaPro painters. Because it's more than a home. It's a work of art. To get your painting project started, go to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with the C. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. License information available at CertaPro.com. Whenever the news breaks, wherever the news breaks.
The sky-high gas prices in the Bay Area could go even
Well, we want to check traffic. Well, really very quiet. We only have one accident being reported anywhere in the greater Bay Area, and that would be in Geyserville, where we have a hit-and-run crash still being tended to, basically on the roadway running up the hill towards the River Rock Casino, Highway 128, so no indication that lanes are blocked. We do have blustery conditions around the Bay Area. High wind advisories renewed this hour for the San Mateo Bridge, the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, the Benicia Bridge, and the Golden Gate. Traffic when you need it on the traffic leader, KCBS. Partly to mostly cloudy overnight. Frank just mentioned the winds. We're looking at lows mid-40s to low 50s. Later on today, some cloudiness in the morning, sunshine throughout the Bay Area in the afternoon. Highs upper 50s at the coast, mid-60s along the Bay, upper 60s to mid-70s inland. It's Monday, April 4th. Coming up on KCBS, police continue to search for whoever killed 6 people and injured a dozen others in Sacramento. The Grammys wrap up with John Batiste taking the night's top honors of Album of the Year, and we'll reprise last night's 60 Minutes. I'm Peter Finch. CBS News covers the world next.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, and all key stations.
It's 1 o'clock. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Tom Colby in Washington. The music industry threw its biggest yearly bash in Las Vegas Sunday night, and the entertainment wound up intertwined with world events. We start with the Grammy Award ceremony itself, covered by CBS correspondent Monica Ricks.
John Batiste was the big winner of the night, taking home 5 Grammys, including Album of the Year. Olivia Rodrigo said Best New Artist.
This is my biggest dream come true. Thank you so much.
Silk Sonic humbly took home 2 Grammys. In the industry, we call that a clean sweep.
And the Foo Fighters weren't there because of the death of their drummer, but swept the rock categories. Chris Stapleton won Best Country Album. Tyler, the Creator, took Best Rap Album. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
And then there was an odd convergence of events as the Grammys met the war in Ukraine. It happened when Ukrainian President Zelensky turned up to address the assembled musicians and that worldwide audience by video from his capital with another plea.
Tell the truth about the war on your social networks, on TV, support us in any way you can, but not silence. And then peace will come.
But for now, there's nothing of the sort in most of this country. His forces have pushed back some Russian troops in and around Kyiv, but in the aftermath, there have been bodies found, hundreds of civilians, sometimes in mass graves. Correspondent Deborah Pata is on the ground there.
The unburied dead who lie sprawled across the town do not wear military uniform. They are civilians, shot in the head, their hands bound behind their backs, or residents riding bicycles who never stood a chance against the shelling.
And there is this late word from Russia. A former U.S. Marine jailed there has been transferred to the prison's medical facility after he declared a hunger strike last month. In this country, 6 people died in a mass shooting in downtown Sacramento as bars and nightclubs were clearing out. Fred Hall's son was among them.
What's going through my mind? Where's the killer? Or the killers? That's what's going through my mind. We need them arrested. Only questions.
And that same question and goal are also going through the minds of local authorities. Air travel's been a real mess due to weather and other issues. Thousands of flights delayed, and those were the good ones. About 3,500 flights were scrubbed.
We'll have to wait 3 days to get this. Maybe we can fly to Chicago or anywhere right now. Just get on the airplane and go.
Among the most affected airlines, JetBlue, Southwest, Alaska Airlines, Frontier, Spirit, and American Airlines. Among the reasons, rough weather. This is CBS News.
CBS correspondent Allison Keyes goes deep into social justice issues across the nation on Kaleidoscope, a podcast from CBS News Radio. New episodes every Friday.
And now a message from Pus Tissues. It's that time of year when spring's in full swing and explosions of life make allergies really zing. Each sniffle and swipe can be a moment of dread as ordinary tissues make noses angry and red. So keep Puffs by your side to soften all your blows. With Air Puff Magic, they'll cushion your nose. Especially during allergy season, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
Where are you? Tax day is nearly here. And Chanel is stressed. Why do I always wait till the last minute? Her small business needs a bookkeeper to crunch some big numbers.
All these spreadsheets make my head spin. None of this adds up.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
So what kind of premiums are you paying?
Increasing auto insurance costs across the U.S. are based on many factors. They're all found in a report from Bankrate.com.
More broadly, we saw that insurance rates were going up from anywhere in the 3% to 12% range.
A major cost component is where you live. Bankrate's Sarah Foster.
When you have a high cost of living in a state, also when it's densely populated or impacting, the infrastructure, that's going to make it most of the time more expensive for drivers to take auto insurance there.
Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
Former President Barack Obama is going to be returning to the White House tomorrow, Tuesday, for his first public event there since he left office in 2017. White House saying Mr. Obama will be joining President Biden and Vice President Harris to deliver remarks celebrating what they call the success of the Affordable Care Act, which is also popularly known as Obamacare. Tom Poti, CBS News.
CBS News Time 105, time for our 1 o'clock replay of 60 Minutes.
How frequently are these attacks on medical infrastructure happening?
Daily. And that's worrisome.
In fact, attacking healthcare workers and healthcare facilities is literally the original war crime from the Geneva Convention in 1864.
Exactly.
This is a hospital in Nikoli, another hospital in Mariupol.